Well, U.S. officials are highly concerned about the impact on American cyber networks as the war in Ukraine continues into its third week and Russian President Putin grows more isolated. Cyber experts expect attacks to cyber networks and national banking. Those could rise, but what does that mean for Americans and U.S. national security? Joining us right now, cybersecurity expert and candidate for Illinois' 14th Congressional District U.S. In Congress is James Marter. James, let's start with this. How does Russia and the United States compare when it comes to cyber warfare? Which one is more powerful?
Well, look, we have some of the best people in the world, but I think you have to look at who's active attacking. Like we saw the Russians attacked us a couple of years ago, pipeline out on the East Coast, and we do nothing about it. We don't slap them down. We give them a slap on the wrist, and we don't do anything about it. They learn from these attacks, and they're actively engaging, not only with us but with other countries around the world.
So what can we do? I understand that they don't want to actually let us know what capabilities we have, but
right.
It seems like it may be a time to start using them.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the problem here is the Biden administration has been weak on everything, especially keeping Russia and Putin in check. And we aren't using our assets, and we're blocking our allies and the friends of the allies of the Ukrainian people from acting, like the blockage of the jets, the military equipment, the MiGs from Poland to Ukraine. You know, it's more about what our administration is not doing and what they're not doing on the front on ways where we have the capability to stop and interfere and intercede, and we're not using our technologies.
If we get into a cyber war with Russia, what's the consequence for, us average Americans? How could that affect us?
Well, I think, go back to the attack on the pipeline. If we have pipeline attacks, that could cause all kinds of shortages of fuel in regional areas. It could cause, disruption to supply chain, which we've already had a lot of. We've experienced this over the last 2 years with a lot of the COVID shutdown and the shutdown of other things that weren't cyber related, but we see how that affects our supply chain. I work in the industry where supply chain is really what makes our manufacturing, our companies work in America, and it's very important to protect our supply chain, harden our networks, our infrastructures, and I see you guys showing a lot of data centers, and this is what I've been doing for the last 35 years, mostly in private America, corporate America. But it's the same thing, and we do lots of things in private corporate America to protect our cyber security, if you will, in terms of it starts with physical protection, it starts with redundancy. Yeah. You have to have what they call hardened versus unhardened to protect from other things. Some things as bad as like an EMP attack. What would happen if we don't have hardened type protections built into our systems and our networks, both from our electrical supply to consumers and to, businesses, manufacturers, all the things that tie us all together and make America work, right?
James, yeah, exactly. I think that's what everybody worries about, especially the unknown. James Marter, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be on tonight. Thank you.
Great to have you, sir. Look forward to talking again in the future. Coming up, we're going to have in-depth